What's up, you guys? Steve here with Build Life Overland. Let's put some airbags on my truck. Now I know what you're saying. Look at this guy in his fancy clean shop. I assure you, I just clean it for the videos. This is airlift ride control. This will be a pretty quick install. I put these on before. Last time was on a 3/4 ton Silverado. Look at these adorable little airbags. This is on my little 24 Chevy Colorado. Tools you'll need for this job: sledgehammer, angle grinder, toilet brush, and a bottle of whiskey. And if you live in a subdivision, pro tip, get yourself a couch pillow to scream obscenities into so your neighbors don't think you're crazy. All right, well, this is super easy. It is like 93 degrees outside, so it's about 92 in the shop here, but at least I'm out of the sun. I might get a fan hooked up and see if I can make this a little more comfortable. This is super easy. Just follow the directions. They're a little, you got to read them twice and get it together, but there's not that many parts. I'm gonna get this finished up and I'll come back and get you guys when we go to put it on the truck. So now that you've got this assembled, all you need to do is slip it in place. Might take a little persuasion. Nah, I'm just kidding. You just put it behind the axle, and you want this little hook to go over the top of the axle bolt. The U-bolt holds the axle on. Let me take you guys in here for a closer look. So you can see here, this just rests up on the frame. The short leg of this top bracket needs to touch the frame. That's what protects the fitting inside there. But the rest of it just sits on top of the spring and the U-bolt holds it on. It's pretty easy. Let's get the U-bolt on. So it looks like we're gonna have to drill. Unlike some of the kits that are drill less, this is not one of them. So this upper bracket's got 5 holes. Looks like you only gotta use 2. They show drilling here and here. So I'm gonna take a center punch, punch a hole, 5/16 drill bit, and then the self-tappers. So most of the things are in the directions. They're very good, they're very clear. But I will tell you, if you're gonna try and drill one and then drill the other, this thing flops all over the place while you're trying to line it up. So I would suggest punching, drilling, screwing one so that it holds it in place and you can get the other one. That way you don't get them misaligned and make a real mess. So I opted to get this without an air compressor. If you're unfamiliar with airbags, you can get not wireless air compressors, but hardwired air compressors that you can control wirelessly. They come with remotes, up, down, whatever you want to do. The reason I opt not to, I have had probably 8 sets of airbags on 8 different trucks. Some have been installed by mechanics, buddies, myself, the dealer. when you put an air compressor in, it's obviously more fittings, which if you do it right, shouldn't be a problem. I've had some with the air compressors, I've had some without, that leak. And then the truck kind of settles down. The ones that are installed properly, and it might be luck of the draw, no leaks. You can set that thing for 60 pounds, take the weight of the truck off the springs, and it will never go back down. The ones I've had with air compressors, 2 I've had really good luck with. They were Firestone ride rights. These are airlifts. The 2 that I've had with airlift compressors, I like the airbags. I like the way they worked. One, in the really cold, the compressor froze up. Must have had moisture in it, froze, shorted the thing out, wouldn't work, no good. The dealer that installed that even told me, even if you do the air compressor, still have a Schrader valve that you can use manually if the compressor goes out. Probably because they know this happens. I had another one that had a Bluetooth controlled compressor in a Chevy Colorado. It was very loud. So the way it was designed is it would come on, if you set your truck for say 40 pounds and it drops down to 38, there was a range you could set it, it would automatically come on and pump it back up. So it would compensate for leaks. Again, if the system's installed right, you shouldn't have any leaks and it shouldn't need to come on. This one leaked, the compressor came on quite regularly, and every time you would turn the vehicle off and back on, the compressor would automatically cycle, and it was really loud, like loud enough that people, when you're in public at a stoplight, could hear it in the car next to you. Sorry. This comes one line with the Schrader valve end already installed. So there's going to be 2 nuts that pinch it. There's some washers and some urethane deals to kind of keep it secure. It's good in the directions, but it's one long piece with an end on both. You're going to cut it so you get 2. Cut it with a knife, make sure it's clean. The end on the airbag, it just pushes in, and that's it. So as far as this connection goes, this is a factory connection. It's highly unlikely it leaks. You've only got 1 connection on each airbag to push in. I haven't had too much trouble doing it that way, but I'm going to drill 2 holes, put these on and pinch them, shove them into the airbags. I haven't done the other side yet, but I'll do that off camera here. And then we'll come back and we'll talk about how to inflate and deflate them when you don't have an onboard compressor. All plastic right there. So if you go about a 1/2 inch above this little lip, and I don't know, maybe probably not much more than 3/4 of an inch to the left and right of the edge of the license plate, you'll hit all plastic in there. Boy, that's nice. I like that. Then this, when you're coming up from the outside, this would be the true test if that 5/16 works. Yep. Pops right out there. We'll get that Schrader valve put on. Well, I don't know if you guys can see this, but I just kind of cut this off to a rough length that was less than half, and we'll make it about 1 foot past that airbag. And there's a couple spots, holes in the frame, things like that. I want to keep it up out of the way where it's not going to get in trouble, if you will. I think I'm in good shape. They give you lots of holes in these frames. I'm going to zip tie it on here. So I got one side done, got the Schrader valve in, and I want to test it out. Here is what I use for air. This is a Milwaukee 12-volt inflator. What I like about it, you can turn it on, assuming the battery's up. I pulled it out of my other truck. And you can set it to however many pounds you want. So I'm going to set this to, let's do 50. 50 PSI. This just screws right on the Schrader valve, and you hit the inflate button. It will inflate it and it will stop, so you can't overinflate it. We do a lot of four-wheeling. We've got side-by-sides, dirt bikes, four-wheelers, all the thing, trailers to take them there, trucks. We're always inflating a tire, adding air, taking air out, whatever it is. So I've always got this with me. It's very accurate. I really like it. I've even got a shocker hitch in my Duramax. I've got a big dually for pulling big trailers, and it has an airbag similar to this built into the hitch to take the shock out of travel. This works really good, and that just takes a couple pounds like these do. They take like 60 pounds, but it takes very little air to get it there. They make a million different kinds of these. Every cordless platform you can imagine has it, as well as corded ones. I've even got a DeWalt jump pack that's a battery jump pack and has an air compressor built into it. But I really like this Milwaukee one. It's easy and portable. I think before I did another onboard dedicated air, I would do something like an ARB compressor for airing up 4 tires or deflating them at the same time, and I would use that to inflate and deflate my airbags. But just because of the potential for leaks, I don't know if I would permanently hardwire it to the airbags. So anyways, I'm gonna take you guys around to the side and put you on the airbag so you can watch this, and I'll hit the inflate button and let's see what it does. Hopefully it won't fall off the jack stand. That's it, 50 pounds. So that went up a couple inches. It will definitely take a lot more to get it to come down those 2 inches than it would before, but I'm pretty happy. I'm gonna do the other side off camera, and then I'll get the wheels on, we'll pull it out, and we'll take another look at it. Okay guys, so I screwed up. Hopefully you'll watch this before you start drilling holes, but I drilled this center hole, and this bracket needs to be touching the frame. That would be the inside of the top bracket. And it did on the other side when I just put it in. But after I inflated it, it pulled this side up, and the space between the spring and the frame was bigger, so it wasn't touching. So I had to just a couple cranks on the jack, and this came up and is touching now. But I have to re-drill this, and I will have an extra hole in my frame. Not cool. So anyways, be sure that you have contact between the inside of the upper bracket and the frame before you drill your holes. I lied about being done. They give you this heat shield that goes on the muffler. Keeps the heat off the rubber airbag, makes sense. That muffler is probably 3 inches away, 4 inches away from the airbag. So you want to put it on for sure. They give you 2 different size hose clamps. One would be like if you were clamping it to the muffler, and one would be if you're clamping it to the pipe. So they're 2 different sizes, a big one and a small one. I don't know if this is a ZR2 thing. I would imagine, because this says 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, it's probably any model Colorado these airbags fit. It's not rocket science how this goes on. It might fit a Ford Ranger and a Tacoma and all the other things as well. But the muffler on here is about 6 inches around, and I got a 4-inch and a 3-inch hose clamp. So what I did was took a small one and a big one, and I looped them together. Actually, you got to take this apart and get it around the muffler and put it back on. And that'll work fine. There'll be a lot of extra slack. We'll cut it off. But if you find yourself with neither one of the hose clamps will work, put 2 of them together. That'll get it done. I'll show you when I'm done. All right, you can see this heat shield. I kind of bent the fins out so they won't rattle on the muffler. I cut that slack off. I'm a little worried this will make a rattle, but I think it'll be all right. Got my hose clamps on. They give you here like a heat shield for the hose, but mine's high enough and far enough away. I don't think that's going to be an issue. I'm going to call this install done. I'm going to put this back tire on, and then we'll pull this out, fill them up with air, and take a look. Well, that's it. I'm pumped. That would, you know, if you weren't trying to film and, I don't know, I'm slow, this would take a couple hours. You could get it done. Certainly an afternoon or something on a Saturday, Sunday. Easy peasy. It took like, I don't know, a screwdriver, a 1/2-inch wrench, 5/16 drill, 9/16 socket. That's about it. It's very few tools. And it went pretty smooth. Sans drilling an extra hole in my frame. So if you come back tomorrow for me, probably a couple weeks for you guys, I'll be putting a topper on here. That's the big spoiler, because there's probably only about 3 of you watching the video at this point. We're going to take this rack off, and I bought a, God, what's it called? Custom cap? I can't even remember what it's called. But anyways, one of these modular stainless steel truck caps. I'm excited about it. I'm going to go check. Hold on. Smart cap, that's what it's called. I can't, some of these guys can remember, like, oh, I got the FS305, you know, fast right, this and that, and the Bison ZR. I can't remember numbers or things, or my name, or my phone number. Anyways, I'm probably going to go to bed because it's getting late. It doesn't look very dark, probably to you guys on camera, but it's getting late. Anyways, thanks, guys, for watching. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it. Like and subscribe. Stay tuned for the fast cap, the smart cap, the truck cap I'm going to put on here. I'm excited for it. It'll be good, and these airbags will really help take the load of all the equipment in the cap itself. We'll see you then.